time for another video. Today, we're going to be rigging a popper and technical rigging for this sort of thing. And see, this is the sort of thing that you use for tuna and GT, but we're going to put it on something this small, so I kind of find that funny. Alright, if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today, we're going to do a technical rigging in this tiny ass popper, which we're going to be using for trebs and queenfish, especially because they're running thick this summer. Alrighty, so this sort of thing, quite frankly, it would be anything that bites. So there we go. Alrighty, so brand spanking new popper, technically rigged with these hooks, and the rigging is actually kind of something that you use for GT and tuna, as I mentioned earlier, only we're actually squeezing, or we're shrinking it down. The hooks are kind of special. These are the JF42s from Owner, okay, and these hooks have a PTFE coating, and that's why I'm using them, because as soon as the fish grabs, that's it. Been victimized by these hooks going into my hand. Not a funny thing. Alright, we're gonna be tying, of course, with thin braid. You're gonna need super glue and also solid rings. Okay, so obviously we need split rings for the popper, and it will be actually load bearing split ring, so take note. Okay, the very first step for this is to actually rig the solid rings. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to, and remember, you need 4 of these. Okay, so we're gonna do the usual, loop it through like so. By the way, this is 100-pound fishing braid because I have a lot, so I'm gonna use it. Okay, so there. You could also use assist cord, of course, but I just have this, so I'm using it. When you're doing this, make sure that it's super tight. You don't want it to move. Alrighty, so for this, I'm gonna do that, and then I would normally bite this, but I've been getting in trouble with my biting and stuff, so there we go. Okay, now that's done. You need 4 of these, so you don't need a long length, but you need 4 of them. Okay, I like having the length just so it's easier for me to actually work on things, and I have to switch glasses so I can see what I am doing. Okay, okay, last one. Well, not last, there's 2 more. Okay, so nothing impressive here. Just loop, twist, and then bring back in again through the split ring or solid ring, and then tighten up. Okay, last one, and then we could go ahead with the the tying of the assist hook. So you need 4 of these. Okay, loop, twist, go back in, then you don't need the long length for this, but it's much better to actually have the length. Alright, now I'm going to bring you guys in so that you can see how I deal with this. So we rig with the hook upside down, or point up so it's easier. Alrighty. Okay, so what we've done is to make a knot at the very end right there, and then that's basically our lock. Okay, so thread base. This hook is very slippery, so you have to have a thread base. If you're using ordinary hooks, still it's a very good practice to just put a base. If you lay a base on, it will just make things easier. Okay, now when you put this on, you position it so that the hook or the ring is actually on the side like that. And then proceed to do this. Sometimes what you want to do is just put a few wraps on this knot just so it stays. Okay, now once you have everything in place, put some glue. Your side, my side. Okay, the gaps that you put on your base will make the super glue stick better, fuse everything, so to speak. Okay, so once you have that, take all the gaps off, and then use whatever locking knot you use. At this point, you'll notice that there's still a lot of glue, which is normal for this. I take my trusty chopstick right here and then spread things around like so. Alrighty, that is it, not going anywhere. Now I'm gonna take this off and put it somewhere where there's no air movement, and then work on the last ones. Alright, so we have all the components done. Now it's time to assemble this popper. Alrighty, so remember that you need a load bearing split ring for this, so none of those cheap stuff. Okay, so we have all four of our hooks here, so that's how they look like. Okay, I was looking for the split rings and then I remembered that they were here. Alright, so 2 split rings. So I'm checking for size. Okay. Now, what we need to do is first install the hooks. So when you install them, one face this way, one faces the other way. Okay, so there's that. So if you have one that's facing this way, this one should be like that. Okay, so it's actually better if you install them one after another. Be very careful. These things are sharp. Okay, so that. As you can see there, it looks like that. Okay, so these guys should go like that. Okay, now for this particular one, you could actually do this, or you could just put single inlines, but we found that these are actually really good. They work really well. So I just thought like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna carry them over to our light stuff, which is what I'm doing here. Okay, so that, this is the opposite side, like so. This is gonna be so much fun on queenfish. I think I messed up. Kind of fiddly. Now, one thing to note when you're doing this as well is that you have to have the right split ring pliers, otherwise this breaks. The split ring, which you don't want, kind of delicate there. Okay, so we have both our hooks in. Now all we have to do is put them in the popper. And the good thing with this is that it doesn't really affect the weight, because these things are light. Now if you want to balance your popper, what you could do is okay, so as you can see there, it should lay down like that. Now if you want to balance your popper, you could use heavier hooks and it'll work great. Okay, so it should be positioned like that, and trust me, as soon as the fish grabs it, it's history. Now for the back hook, now the good thing about this, by the way, is that it doesn't tangle. So when you're rigging this and you're putting it on your stick bait or popper, it doesn't tangle. That is the good thing with this configuration. Now so if you cast it, it would kind of be out of position, okay, and it would just basically go back to its position like so. Okay, so it doesn't tangle, so you can see there. Okay, and that is it, guys. Alrighty, that is the popper right there with short assist hooks, and that will catch fish. The good thing with this is that these are single hooks, so the gaps are quite big. That's A. And B, if you look with these guys, once the fish is hooked, the possibility of the other hook actually going inside its mouth or snagging it's quite high, including the ones at the back. That's that. And since they're PTFE coated, just a little touch doesn't really have a lot of resistance, and then it just sort of anchors itself or hooks the fish. So there we go. Alrighty, now if you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on that subscribe button. If you learned from this video, give it a thumbs up. Alright, and if you want your friends to learn with you, go ahead and share this video, share this channel, so that more people would be able to learn these things. I'm pretty sure that there's very little, if not there's none, that make this sort of content that I make. So it's very important for you guys to actually share everything and don't gatekeep. That way we build a world with smart fishermen. And yeah, we help people catch more fish. If you want to support what I do, support this channel, go ahead and click on that join button. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed. Ooh. I'm gonna be using this soon.